Disney has spent billions of dollars to develop Disney Plus, and so far their streaming service has been struggling since it launched. Now, initially things looked promising because subscriber growth was consistent, but you have to keep in mind this was during the peak COVID years when everyone was forced to stay indoors and essentially just watch TV. And then after things started opening up again, then people started dropping off from their subscription services. So Disney had to find some other avenue in order to reach profitability with Disney Plus. That included hiking the prices in order to try to squeeze more revenue out of their existing subscribers. That didn't work out, so they started adding an ad-supported tier. That still didn't work out. So since then, they've hiked the prices numerous other times, and there's only so much that they can actually do with this before the existing subscribers they have decide enough is enough and just drop off entirely. But before we get into all this, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you can, leave a comment and hit the like button too, because it really helps out with the channel. Disney Plus is getting another price hike. Subscription prices are set to increase in October. This is coming from The Verge. Disney is raising the price of Disney Plus subscriptions again as part of its mission to squeeze profits from its streaming service. The new prices will go into effect on October 21st. The standalone plan with ads will increase by $2 to $11.99 per month, while the no ads Disney Plus premium plan will increase by $3 to $18.99 per month. This also applies to their annual subscriptions as well as their various bundles. They have a link to their page in this article if you want to check it out yourself to see how much each individual bundle will cost. But you have to keep in mind a $2 increase by itself doesn't sound like much. Most people don't pay attention to this sort of thing. They just see it. They don't even actually pay attention to how much they're paying. They probably just have it set up on auto renewal, and they won't necessarily notice $2 extra being charged for Disney Plus. And that's something that Disney is kind of counting on. And even for the people who do notice this sort of thing, a lot of them might just be like, well, it's just $2. It's not really that big of a deal. And they'll just keep it. Now, there's going to be some people who are upset with this and decide to drop off every time they hike the price. There's always people who drop their subscription because of that. And Disney is basically hoping that the increased revenue that they gain from the extra $2 is going to offset the losses that they have from people dropping off from Disney Plus. And so far, that's probably been beneficial to them as a company, because that's why they're keeping and increasing the prices. They're basically seeing how far that they can go before suddenly they're losing more money from people dropping their subscription than the money that they gain by increasing the price. After launching Disney Plus in 2019 for $6.99 per month. Now, keep in mind, $6.99 at launch was with an ad-free version of Disney Plus. Now, to get the exact same experience, it's going to be $18.99 per month. So in just 6 years, I mean, that's a pretty significant price increase, if I do say so myself. These price hikes are now becoming seasonal trends for Disney. The company raised the price of its streaming service in December 2022, October 23, and October 24, and they're increasing again now in October of 25. But you have to keep in mind at the timing too, because for Disney's fiscal year, Q4 ends on September 30th. Now, why is this important? Because they say right here, with its streaming businesses finally becoming profitable for the first time last year. And that's an important distinction right there, because once they launched Disney Plus back in 2019, they told shareholders that they're going to reach profitability by Q4 of last year. Now, they reported that they reached profitability with their streaming businesses by the end of last year, but that's a little bit deceptive because that's also the time frame when they finalized their purchase of Hulu. Hulu by itself was already profitable for them, or was already a profitable platform. So once they rolled that into their streaming businesses reported profitability, but Disney Plus by itself has fallen short of that, because keep in mind, they raised the prices after Q4 of last year. Q3 of last year, they reported that Disney Plus was still in the red, as in like not only did they spend billions of dollars to develop it, but each quarter that it was running was costing the company money. Q3 was no exception last year. And then if you actually look at the subscriber numbers between Q3 and Q4, you can see here that they lost around 25 million subscribers. So they say they've lost money in Q3. They lost 25 million subscribers between Q3 and Q4. Yet they're reporting that their streaming services are profitable. You just know that it's not Disney Plus by itself profitable. It's only profitable for streaming because Hulu was already good by itself. So basically the gains that they get from Hulu is offsetting the losses from Disney Plus. But Disney, from this point on, has yet to actually report profitability for Disney Plus by itself, and that's because it hasn't been profitable for them as a company. In fact, things have actually gone so bad for Disney Plus that they even announced this last summer that they're going to even stop reporting the subscriber numbers for Disney Plus. And they're saying the shareholders basically don't need to know that. It's not important information to them. And you just know it's because that the numbers aren't looking good, because you can even see right here, going back to this chart, the subscriber numbers for the last year have pretty much been consistent. They haven't been growing. They've kind of flatlined. So Disney understands that they're not going to be reporting subscriber numbers to, or their subscriber growth to, their shareholders, because there's nothing to report. Their subscriber growth is pretty much flatlining, and they know that they can't reach they haven't reached profitability up to this point. So the only thing they have left to do is to just try to squeeze more money out of their existing subscribers, and hoping that they don't notice, or the people who do notice don't care enough to actually cancel their subscriptions. But one thing, because it's kind of interesting, this is coming on the heels of the whole Jimmy Kimmel fiasco, where a lot of people upset with Disney decided to publicly cancel their Disney Plus subscriptions. Now, a lot of that is virtue signaling. A lot of those people probably didn't actually cancel it. But there was still some people who probably did cancel it, and I'm sure it was something that Disney took notice of. And now that Kimmel is brought back, are those people going to come back? Yeah, probably. But there's also some people out there, once they cut that cord and cut that auto renewal, it's going to be a lot difficult to try to bring them back into the fold. And Disney probably understands this, and they're panicking right now, because once you lose subscribers, it's hard to gain them back, but it's easier just to kind of string the ones that you have along, even if you're just increasing the prices like this. Because like I said, a $2 increase is not necessarily enough for people to notice, but still it's not enough for them to reach profitability, even with their ad supported tier. So it's really up in the air what's going to happen with Disney moving on, because right now, like I've already established, that they have yet to reach profitability for the platform. But because this was supposed to be Bob Iger's legacy at Disney, he basically spent all of his time trying to develop this. He wanted to compete with Netflix. This was going to be the crown jewel for everything. And so far, it's been a huge failure for the Disney company. Not only the money that they've spent to create Disney Plus, all the money that they've spent to operate it, that they've been losing each quarter since it's been operational, but also the money that they spent on acquiring all the IPs in order to try to populate their various streaming services. That hasn't worked out for them as a company, but as long as Bob Iger's there, he's not going to call it quits on it, because this was basically his baby. And as long as he's there, he wants to try to maintain that this is actually successful for them. It's not going to be until after he leaves that we find something else happen. But honestly, what Disney should have done all along, what they would have been a lot better off doing, is if instead of trying to create their own streaming service to populate with their IPs, basically license their IPs to an existing service. Or maybe instead of spending billions of dollars to acquire the rights to Fox, they spend a fraction of that to buy Tubi, like Rupert Murdoch did. He took the billions of dollars that Disney paid him for Fox, and then he bought Tubi, and that's actually been pretty successful and actually been profitable by itself. If Disney would have just bought Tubi and had the framework for everything right there, they would have saved a lot more money than actually developing their own platform. And then they could have just populated that with all their Disney stuff and just sold ads on it and been successful right there. But instead, they got a little bit too greedy. They flew too close to the sun and thought that they can compete with Netflix when it's clear that they can't. And the only thing that we're going to see from Disney at this point right now is, like I said, they're going to continually hike the price. This isn't going to be the last of it. They're probably going to do it again next year and probably again the year after that, because they have no other choice, because they've been losing money hand over fist. And they either have to cut Disney Plus entirely, which is something Bob Iger doesn't want to do, or continually to hike the price and hope that people aren't paying attention. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to hit the like button and share the video out there too, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.